a demonstration of student request workflow plugin. Moodle is a learning platform and a course management system which is used by schools and universities all over the world. It contains many plugins which enable users to add additional features and functionalities to Moodle such as forum, quiz, assignments, etc. But lack of a plugin that allows the course lecturer to create a workflow that gets triggered when a student submits a request for a matter related to the course is one of the main issues that Moodle contains right now. At present, these types of requests are sent to the lecturers through email. As a result, lecturers received a lot of emails per day. Because of that, there is a big chance of missing some requests by the lecturer. Therefore, it will be helpful for both the students and the lecturers if there is an activity that allows the students to submit their request directly into Moodle. An automated plugin for Moodle has been created to simplify this workflow. A lecturer can create a workflow with the appropriate configuration using this plugin. The lecturer can decide who should be the mediator of the workflow. A request can be issued on behalf of the batch using the workflow. The user must sign into Moodle using an admin account in order to install a plugin. Go to Site Administration, Plugins, Install Plugins in Moodle to install the workflow plugin. Click Install Plugin from the Moodle Plugins directory to access the Moodle Plugins repository. The workflow plugin can be discovered by searching the Moodle plugin repository after exploring the plugin. The plugin is then available for download as a zip file. After downloading the zip, go to Site Administration, Plugin, Install Plugins and submit the file there. The user must sign into Moodle using a teacher account in order to establish a workflow. First, go to the course page and select Editing On to add the workflow activity. Click Add an activity or resource after moving the cursor over the topic where the activity has to be created. Click Workflow on the pop-up window. Choose an instructor from the instructor list to act as the mediator of the workflow. Enter the necessary information in the form. Then, click Save and Return to Course or Save and Display. The user must sign into Moodle using a student account in order to create a request. Visit the course page, select the relevant workflow, click the Create a New Request button. Enter necessary information in the form. You can attach a file with the request if needed. Then save the request. You will be redirected to workflow page. Here you can select a request to see the details of it. As the request is on pending stage, the student can cancel the request if needed.
Instructors act as intermediate persons between students and lecturers. Instructor, also known as a non-editing teacher, decides whether to forward or reject requests. He can also inquire for further details if necessary. Here, a user is logged into the system as an instructor. As you can see, the instructor has received some new notifications. These notifications correspond to student requests. Click on the notifications icon and you will be able to see some notifications about those created requests. The instructor can click on one request to see the full notification. Here at the end of the page, a link will be visible. That link will direct us to the page of that relevant request. Click on that link. Here you can see the request details, and instructor will also be able to download file that has been sent by student if required. Here, and the instructor can decide whether to forward or cancel. Additionally, the instructor can also ask for the details about the request. Click on ask for the details, enter what is further required, then click on the send inquiry button. You will be redirected back to the workflow page. Now the student can respond to this inquiry by the instructor later. Here the logged in user is the student whose request was just responded by an instructor earlier. As you can see, the student has also received a new notification which indicates that the instructor has asked for the details. Similar as earlier, click on the notification and click on the link at the end of the page to visit the request page. Here now as you can see, the state of the request has been changed, and in addition to the cancel button you saw earlier, there is another button called send further details that the student can use to send the necessary details. Click on the send further details button, enter the required details. You can submit a file if necessary. Click on the send details button. Now you will be redirected back to the workflow page, and here as you can see, the request we just provided more information with has its state changed to more details added, and now you can also see that the send further details added button is no longer there since we already sent the details. Here the instructor we explained earlier has logged in again. Now he can see the additional details the student sent by visiting the course page, then clicking on the workflow activity, and here among the requests you can see that there is a request with the status more details added. This is the request that the student has provided us with further information. Click on that request, and here you can now see a new button called download more attached files. The instructor can download the newly submitted file through this button. After that, the instructor can now either forward or cancel the request. The instructor can forward the request to the lecturer or the teacher by clicking on the forward button. Now the instructor is redirected back to the workflow page, and the request that we just worked with is no longer visible. The student who has provided further details about his request is logged in again, as you can see on the screen, and that student has received another new notification stating that the request is forwarded to the teacher. He can click on the view full notification, go to the request page, and now he can see that the state of the request is changed to forwarded, and the student no longer has any action available. Here the lecturer or the teacher has logged into the system, and now you can see that the lecturer has also received a notification stating that the request from a student is forwarded to him. Similar as earlier, click on the notification, click on the link to visit the request page, and here the lecturer can download the relevant files if needed, and lecturer can make the final decision using either the approve or disapprove button. Regardless of the decision, that decision will be notified to the student via notification, and in the case of a deadline extension approval, the deadline of the relevant assignment will automatically be extended. If the student has logged into the system again, he will now see that he has received a new notification indicating that his request has been approved. He can click on that notification to see the details. When creating a request, the student can create them as batch requests as well. To do so, click on the relevant course page, the relevant workflow link, and the create a new request button. Here, while filling out the details, make sure that you select the yes option in the is this a batch request detail. This will result in a message that says include the proofs for batch representative position. Fill out the details as required and click on save changes. Now as you can see, the new request is added to the request page. Now the lecturer can see a new notification stating that the batch request has been forwarded by the instructor. Click on the notification and click on the link to visit the request. Here, as shown earlier, the lecturer can approve or disapprove the request. After approving, the whole batch will now receive notifications stating that the request has been approved. We hope that you found this video informative and helpful. For further assistance, refer to the user manual. Thank you for your time and have a nice day.